All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia. I'm the founder and CEO of GAR Capital. It is Tuesday, November 12th, 2024. Glad to be with you this morning and every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on our YouTube channel. And those watching on Instagram, thank you so much for watching us. Appreciate that. Good morning. Let's go ahead and get started. Dow futures are up 68 points this morning. Nasdaq's kind of been chopping around overnight. It is up by about 5 points. S&P futures are flat. Russell's pulling back a little bit after the big move yesterday. 24.34 on the Russell futures, down about 0.56%. Crude oil's up about 1% today. It was down yesterday, 68.71 a barrel. 197 on gasoline futures, down about 1.15. Gold futures, we talked about that yesterday, took a dip. Now at 26.17, bounced off 2600. We'll take a look at that rather quickly for anyone who is looking at the future side of things. All right, and you could see very, very nice little channel there, almost a wedge, and bounced pretty much perfectly off 2600. So the question now is, well, do we use this as a pivot point for more upside? Here's the problem. Tomorrow is CPI. So this could all change. So I would wait for that report, the inflation report that I talked about. I expect the CPI number to be either meeting expectations or be lower than expectations because of crude oil falling in October. I don't know how that'll affect gold really, but I think stocks will bounce off a good CPI tomorrow. So let's see if I'm right tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning. But as for now, in terms of gold, yes, it looks like a really good level to play this bounce. But again, with CPI tomorrow, you definitely don't want to hold it overnight. If you are looking at it for today, yeah, you're going to have to use like around 25.95 as support. Silver futures are up about 0.58%. Copper's down about 1.31%. Dollar yen and Forex land is up about 72 pips. Bitcoin taking a breather. I know. We were right there, close to greatness at 90,000. Well, I think we got to 90,000 on the spot. But in terms of futures, we tagged 90,725. We do have a gap to fill at 77,980 on the future side. As much as we love Bitcoin, guys, things don't go straight. Moonshotting in one shot. You're not going to get to 1 million tomorrow. So get this out of your head that we're just going to get to 200,000, 250,000 by December. Just like anything else, FOMO kicks in, and that's when people usually get hurt. If you're dollar cost averaging Bitcoin, none of this even matters. If you're holding Bitcoin, none of this even matters. Just for those who are trying to chase, just be careful. Just like anything else, you're waiting for a discount, right? You're waiting for Black Friday shopping. Maybe we get that in Thanksgiving. Maybe we get that in December. But we have a gap to fill here right around 78. So if we pull back to there, that would be a really great sign, especially if the bulls, meaning the buyers, defend there and buy the dip. And then you can get a little bit of a discount. Again, Bitcoin and crypto is volatile. Get used to it. It's just what it is. Sometimes it's great. Sometimes it's crap. There was a period of time just 2 years ago that we were right around 25K, 26K. Everyone hated Bitcoin. Now everyone loves it. This is just how the flows, this is how it goes in terms of the markets, guys. Here we go. Ethereum down 2.33%. I had a question from a member asking me about Ethereum that they wanted to get in, and I said, best is just wait. There's a gap to fill here at 3,000. That's pretty much your buy zone. That's right around the 200-day moving average on futures. So anyone who's looking at Ethereum, possibly hitting some R right around 3,500, I would expect a pullback to around 3,018. If you're someone who wants to trade that, Ethereum does have some futures setups there. So I'm keeping an eye on it. Maybe we get an opportunity to short it on the future side. But obviously things are very fluid with CPI coming tomorrow. What else did we got? All right, so we had some earnings. Shopify beat on the top and bottom line. If you guys remember, I talked about this on the video on how I expected Shopify to go higher and possibly squeeze. Well, we're up 20 bucks, so that's a pretty good squeeze. Here's the only issue is that I didn't send this one. I wish I did. Obviously, hindsight being 2020. But if you guys caught it, great. I would take profits, obviously. But again, we are breaking out. I think we're at new highs, not highs yet. So you're not too late to the party on Shopify, at least in terms of the stock. Let's see if it breaks above. Well, we're right above that. 110. I guess 120 would be next. Let's max it out here. Yeah, you could see we still have to get back to 176.29, which was the highs before 2022. This is the highs from 2021. Yep. So we're looking at what is this price here? Right around 101.26. We're at 110 now. So I'm going to place an alert at 120. But really the next support, I assume, on Shopify, if we get some profit taking, we're more likely going to get back down to around 102. This line is driving me nuts because it doesn't look straight. Let's see. There you go. Much cleaner. Okay, let's throw this out. Take away these drawings. That's already a breakout. So remove that drawing. There you go. Wedge breakdown. There you go. 101. There was a gap to fill at 101. Now we're way above that. So again, 120 would be kind of our next target. Obviously, I would not chase this, but again, just keep that in mind. Tesla is pulling back this morning as well. Very hard to chase this thing after it's been absolutely sore job since the election. What we went from 260 to 360, about $100. So we do have a gap to fill here, at least on the hourly at 325. Pretty much what we're looking for. 329 is your first gap, and then you have an election gap here at 255. In my opinion, this gap will fill. The question is when. So any kind of pullback that we can get, I think that'll be a buying opportunity for those who kind of want to get in if you can get down to 255. But really just for the fact that you're going to have Elon influence the White House or be an advisor to the White House, that's a big deal for a chairman and CEO of a company. That's definitely going to benefit shareholders. But now we're just re-looking at a really good price. You don't want to chase this. That's for sure. Good morning, Clifton. Very kind. Good morning, sir. Palantir. Let's see it. Palantir is pulling back this morning. 58.78 to 60. Another kind of Tesla type thing. And again, you know I love me some Palantir, but can't chase this, guys. Come on. We got to at least be somewhat, logical here. And if we're looking at logic, what is the next target down? That would be 45.12, your breakout. And guess where we have a gap? Right there. That's pretty much near the 20. So I've said this before. I thought Palantir was going to pull back right around 41 anyways, and then the election happened. But yeah, it just seems that if we do get some semblance of a pullback, that's going to be my target there, right around 45 bucks. You're talking about $13 from where we are now. It's pretty big pullback. But again, just like Bitcoin, we want to see if the buyers defend this level. You can see this is the highs from 2021. That is considered your breakout. Now, if we can get back down there, again, no issue shorting. It's just really difficult to short in a bull market, and especially in a really good, strong seasonal month like November. Let's see Square. Square's not there yet. 90.71 is my alert. We're at 81.82. So not quite there yet. That's what I need to break out. That's your double top, possible triple top, from right around 2022 July to Jan 2023 and March 2024. So that's what we really are looking for. Kind of faked me out here with this inverse head and shoulder setup, and we never got the break. Now we're kind of doing a cup action. More than likely, what we might do is maybe get close to that level, right around 88, pull back a little bit for that handle, and give us one more chance to break out. I think Square breaks out. I really do. But the problem is with options is the premium gets crushed. So it's best to just wait for your alert rather than just getting in hoping it'll break. Just let the market do the work for you. That's my point. Let's see. Good morning, Amazon. Let's see it. Yep. Now my question is, do we get down to 200? That's the level that was previous resistance. So if it gets down to 200, to me, that would be a nice little buy the dip opportunity. Carlos, good morning, Carlos. Opinion on BITO for investing, not trading? No, just buy Bitcoin. Much easier. Own your coins. Keep it in a safe wallet, hard wallet, like a Trezor, and it's way easier. Don't even think about it. Put it in your safe. BITO, fine for trading. Used to be, but now it's not even close in terms of like the connection. It's not much of a proxy is my point. Yes, it is breaking out, but it's pulling back now a little bit. You're above the 200-day, but I think Bitcoin futures, if you want to trade it, Coinbase or Mara, and Mara broke out too. They report earnings today. So maybe if you're trying to take a flyer on that, fair enough, but you got a gap here at 1965. We played Mara many times last year. But the problem with Mara and these names is that, they have employees, they have shareholders. Sometimes they have to add more shares or anything expense. Owning Bitcoin, there is no expense. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, liquidity whenever you need it, if you need to. So yeah, you're better off just owning the coins. Good morning, good morning. PayPal or Roku? Let's see it. PayPal and Roku. All right, so PayPal is on the move. We got one more break to come up. That's one, oh wait, 89.22. Let's see. Yep, 89.22, almost there. Right, 86.39 now. I chose Delta Airlines instead of PayPal when we traded it yesterday, and Delta Airlines hit. So I'm kind of happy on that. Nothing against PayPal, but I think I chose wisely on that one. And again, I just rather have the 89.22 break on PayPal to confirm the move. There was one other stock that I was watching yesterday, and it was Citibank. And there was a lot of volume, I believe, on the 72s, but I'm waiting for the break of 70.25, and we're just not there yet. Sorry to sidetrack there. Roku. We still have that gap to fill here at 87.20. Let's go ahead and shade it for everyone. Okay, there we go. We still need this break of 80. So we're right around 77. Not yet. So let's see if we can break above 80.75. And then I'll keep an eye on the volume if we can get the move. Maybe we can do the 85s or the 90 calls. And you got one more gap here at 100. So they already reported earnings. So you're not going to get too much volatility. This is really much going to run with the small cap growth names. Thoughts on this Bitcoin run? Love it. The only thing is FOMO starting to kick in for people, and that's when usually people get hurt. So my point with that is that yes, one day, I don't know when, you'll get a breather on Bitcoin. You're not going to get to 200K tomorrow, guys. So this idea, I got to buy now, chill. I think you'll get a pullback to right around 78K, and that's a good buy level for those who want a dollar cost average or get in. It's just right now, 90K is a big level. I assume, this is what I really assume, that a lot of people are going to dump at 100K. It's just a nice round number, right? Remember when S&P hit 5,000? Nice round number. They sold into that thing. I think, what did we hit S&P 5,000? My goodness, what, 2022, 2021? And it was sold into. It's just that round number theory I talk about many times when I was teaching. So 78K, that's a gap to fill on the daily on Bitcoin futures. I'm looking for that, and that would get my attention. Buying here at 86,755, unless you're dollar cost averaging, I'm not going to get too excited for that. That's my point. I think it's great. Don't get me wrong. Very hard to trade. Better off just owning it. Nike. Let's see. I think Nike reports soon, or they just did. They did in October. Excuse me. Still got a gap here at 87.61 and one more at 93. Got to get above 85 until you do anything. If it breaks below 68, that's a major, major trend line. And if that breaks down, then, well, things get very, very ugly in a hurry. That's the main trend line right there at 68. If that breaks down, let's just say we'd be shorting. Seems like BITO has huge dividends too. Yeah, be careful with those companies that pay those dividends, those very high dividends. I think there's people who invest in like covered call option ETFs. Sometimes those are sustainable, sometimes it's not. And dividends are not guaranteed. Just do not own a stock just for the dividend. You want to make sure it's a company that A, can pay it, and B, that is consistent. So, like, if you ever were looking just for a company that is stable and has dividends and a long track record of paying them, then you want to look at like the dividend aristocrats. There are like 50 companies. I'm talking about like old school companies, okay, that have paid dividends forever, like Coca-Cola, all right, Altria that makes cigarettes. Those are kind of, you're better off. Don't do BITO for dividends. Just do Bitcoin itself, buy direct in your pocket, and you hold on to your keys. Keep your coins. Keep your coins. Let's see, Goog or tokens, coins, tokens. Here you there. Got a nice cup and handle on Google. We are in calls here. We're looking for 185 to 187.50 on Google. Had some nice volume. I expect Google to move higher. I expect that we get a little bit of rotation into the higher Mag 7 names, the mega cap boys, not including Tesla. That thing already soared. But like Amazon, Microsoft, Apple, Google, Meta, I kind of see them making a catch-up trade. to everything else because they really didn't move as much as like the banks, Bitcoin, small caps did in the past week. Let's go to Instagram and answer some questions. Good morning. Good morning. Spotify tonight. I think I talked about that yesterday, and it's really tough to trade all-time highs. So your guess is as good as mine. At least Shopify had some edge, but Spotify doesn't. It's just at all-time highs. I mean, we're pretty much guessing on what the reaction is going to be. Tough. But it's done very, very well, obviously speaking. Let's see. I think I already answered that Spotify question. How do I feel about Mara earnings? Your guess is as good as mine, honestly. Mara was on my watch list, but Bitcoin soared over the weekend, so of course we gapped up. I would stay away, to be quite honest. Unless you get above 25 again, yeah, we could possibly get to 30, but you're talking about just a lotto if that's the point. I'd rather skip it. Good morning. XBI. Let's see it. Biotech ETF. It is above the 200 MA. Got the 20 above the 200 MA on the weekly. That's a really good sign. Ooh, if there was any kind of volume, this looking like it's breaking out. Let's see if we can get above 105.56 because you can see pretty much since 2022, the beginning of 2022, it's just been in one big range. We just want to see a breakout to get to 127. Nvidia earnings, I believe, what is that, next week? And again, I think the assumption is that everyone knows that Nvidia is doing great, right? Other than the stock price, we know that. We are kind of setting up a flag here. Upward flag on the 30-minute chart. Let me see on the hourly. Yeah, kind of setting up a flag. If this holds up, then yeah, it looks like we're going to be breaking out, depending on when the earnings is or depending on when this breakout happens. This actually looks really, really good, team. Look at this. You're on the hourly. Let's take a look at the daily. Oh, right. Such a small potatoes into what we're looking at. The only concern here is a downside possible move to 140.43. That's right at the 20-day. But if you look at the hourly, man, if we can get above what? 148? That might be a little too, we need a little more. Did I just freeze? Here we go. Let's do 147.50. If we break above 147.50, you're getting above the 50 MA on the 1 hour. And you can set up, you see your flagpole and your flag, and we can target 150 and beyond. But we need to see the volume. Usually NVIDIA, there's no issues with volume there. But 147.50, interesting. Break out of that flag pattern. The last time we got close to that was right around 148.77, and we got teased, and we got a pullback on Monday, which was yesterday. So let's see if 147.50, 148 breaks. I'll keep an eye on it and see if we can play that long. But NVIDIA earnings, no idea. Now we're talking about reaction. The assumption is that they're going to beat, but who knows? Palantir is a rocket, cooling off for now, or still going to go? Cooling off for now. Absolutely cooling off for now. Guys, you're not going to get Green Day every day. I know everyone's excited post-election. I know everyone's excited about crypto, less regulation. Yeah, listen, a Republican administration is good for markets. I mean, hello, 1980s, Ronald Reagan. It happens, yeah. But to be fair, stocks do great in any administration, usually. But with that being said, guys, when there's FOMO, when your friends that are not into this business are talking about markets start asking you about Bitcoin, usually means a short-term top. Just keep an eye out there. If you're watching this, you're pretty much, pretty savvy. You know what you're talking about. You know what you're looking for. But when you're regular Joe down the street, they're asking about Bitcoin and Tesla. That's when you know you got to be careful. We're probably going to get some profit taking. That's just the case every time. Everyone gets excited, and I know, I love this. I love stocks too, but ups and downs is the way it goes. In terms of SPY, are we green today? I do expect SPY to go higher today. Yes. I don't expect tons of action. We're coming off a holiday yesterday from Veterans Day. Tomorrow's CPI in the morning. We might just be getting some choppy action. So temper those expectations of a massive green day or anything crazy. Let's see. Airbnb, last one. Then we'll call it for the day. Airbnb did have earnings, spiked, pulled back. Now we're at 135. Anything? Look at this. Not much. Not much on Airbnb. Look at the weekly. Just, I I would say neutral in this one. I wouldn't do anything here. This not low enough to get excited, not high enough to want to take profits. How's that? All right, team. We'll go and leave it there. Thank you so much for your time, as always. Thank you so much for joining me. If you guys are interested in joining our server, here it is, the GAR Live Market blog here on our Discord channel. If you're interested in joining, go to our website, www.gar.capital. We have it scrolling at the bottom. 1983 in our server. I know not everyone uses Discord, but Discord is the place to be if you want to join our server. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Cheers all.